So, in today's video, we are going to talk about ground types, one of my top 3 favorite types, and more specific, the disappearance recently with this type in the newer games. Oh, and a little side note, I won't count legendary and mythical Pokemon, as well as special forms and paradox Ultra Beasts, as they are kinda legendary Pokemon in their own way. So we start with talking about some of the ground types introduced in the beginning of the series. Later we're going to speed forward a bit and we talk on the end a bit more about what I think happened to them and so stuff like that. So let's start with... Yeah, so the ground type is one of the 15 original created types that appeared in Red and Blue, the original Game Boy Pokemon games. And we got a pretty number of ground types to start with. So, the more ground vibing Pokemon like Sandshrew family, the Diglett family, the Cubone family, and we got more rock type looking ones like Geodude family, Rhyhorn family and Onix. And we even got 2 oddballs like Nidoqueen and Nidoking. Overall 14 ground types. That's a really high number in my opinion, as you will see with the later generations. Gen 2 has overall a smaller roster of Pokemon to choose, so they basically had to cut some Pokemon, redesign some Pokemon, make some other choices, etc. I'm more willing to understand these decisions, but overall we had a pretty good roster of ground types. From the ground vibing Pokemon, we have Gligar, Swinub family and the Fampi family. And from the more minerals...
Marie, is that my minerals?
The rocks!
rock-based ones, we got Steelix and Larvitar and Pupitar. Overall 8 Pokemon, not too bad in my opinion. Gen 3 bring us a huge number of new Pokemon, and we got a few cool new type combos with the ground type, like the Numel family being ground and fire, and Trapinch family being the first ground and dragon type. Also Claydol is cool being ground and psychic. I totally forgot Balto exists! Also, the starter Mudkip, after evolving against the ground type, so we got basically a cool representation of the type right from the start of the game. Also, Nincada is for some reason ground type. And we got even the first ground type legendary Pokemon, that being Groudon. But as I said in the beginning of the video, we are not counting it. Still pretty noticeable change. We got around 10 ground types. Seems pretty reasonable to me. With Gen 4, that brings us to 10 new ground types. I must say for now, it looks like we're getting more and more ones. So let's pick up the pace here. Gen 5 brought us 8 new ones, with the coolest being Sandalline in my opinion, and Gen 6. Yeah, we got only one. Only fucking one. And which one? It's Diggersby. This little dirty looking fuck, Diggersby. I really fucking hate this fucking Pokemon. It's so fucking yeah, anyway, here's Gen 7. 4 new ones, like 2 families of Pokemon. Mazday and... Sandygast? Sandygast is it called? I think yes. They're pretty cool. Still a kinda low number to be honest, but better than Gen 6, of course. I'm looking at you fucking little... Gen 8 brings us, again, 4 new ones, with Ursaluna. Yes, it's a Gen 8 Pokemon, not a Gen 9 Pokemon. Being a pretty strong one too, and I love Ursaluna. Pretty great design in my opinion. But anyway. And here we are with Generation 9. So right off the beginning we got some sort of new one that's basically an old design, but still being a different species of Pokemon, and it's Toadschool. Yeah, it's supposed to be a shroom. Also Clodsire new, being a ground type evolve and regional form of Wooper. And that brings us to 3 months. Yeah, we got 3 paradoxes and 1 legendary, but we don't really count them, as I think the basic Pokemon are more to count on it because legendary Pokemon are pretty rare, considering basically the Pokemon you can get pretty early to make a team out of them. Yeah, so I have this question. What happened to get us so little new basic ground types? I mean, rock type is pretty good, I think, in the games. We don't get too many of them, but we never got too many of them. Sadly, no ghost rock combination, but I digress. And why is that so? I couldn't really find any easy answer on the internet. I know, I'm sorry, okay, I had only this much time this week with all the chores around the house, but I have a few theories. For example, Game Freak being out of ideas for ground types. Look, basically there's not much they could come up with a new ground type Pokemon that would be drastically changing their designs. I mean, basically most of the time it's just a animal plus mud, sand, soil, etc. to its design, and that's it. The other theory I think is more plausible is it's just a very powerful type. It beats rock, fire, poison, electric, and even the OP steel type, the most resistible type in game. And also it has an immunity to electric, maybe for balance reasons. They just decide to not add more diverse ground types. But honestly, I don't know. You know, one of my favorite types is just sad to see. And also we got such Pokemon like Earthworm, which aren't ground type, but Onyx is. And Nidoking too? And let me just stop here before I talk about Nidoqueen. Yeah, so anyway, let me know in the comments down below what you think about the disappearance of the ground type. It's more of a question than an answer type video, really.